Welcome back everyone to another episode of No Fear Cooking. Again, I'm not Magda, she's behind the camera again. But today we are making a Italian dish, an appetizer dish, bruschetta, bruschetta. I don't really know how it's pronounced, I'm not gonna lie. I've heard it a lot of different ways on YouTube, so I'll just go with bruschetta and stick with that. If you're Italian, give me a hate in the comments if I'm pronouncing that wrong so I can fix it in the future. But it's a very easy dish, and this is something I recommend if you're like me. You go to the grocery store, you see the bag of chips, you see the chocolates, you see this, you see that, and you think, man, I really want that. Don't get the chips. Get these really easy, clean ingredients, and those ingredients are 4 tomatoes. Mom, what type of tomatoes are these?
Plum tomatoes
4 plum tomatoes.
Romano.
Or Romano
Tomatoes, yes.
Get yourself an onion, a whole onion. We're not gonna use the whole thing, don't worry. Or this is a green onion that we're using. You can use a red onion. We have a shallot in case someone wants to use a shallot. You need olive oil, 2 tablespoons of it. You need salt to your liking, pepper. Mom, how much pepper are we using?
About a teaspoon altogether.
About a teaspoon of pepper altogether. Get some basil, you'll see us do that at the end. And then, of course, you need a baguette or French bread of any sort. If you want, look at the No Fear Cooking video that we did on bread, because this is our bread and it's delicious. And then we have a little twist with our bruschetta that we're gonna show you at the end. We like to add Parmesan cheese, but it's not how you think. It's a little bit different, and I haven't seen anyone do it this way. So let's get started with the most important part, the bread. We're going to slice this up. Now, Mom, what is it called, the way you slice this? You had a name for it, and I can't remember it.
Drastically. Diagonally.
Drastically diagonal.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna ignore the end butt pieces there. Drastically cut it diagonal, like
yes.
This. You see how that looks? You can get
Let's
closer,
see
Mom,
how?
show it to them.
Yes.
You see how that nice, drastic, sharp line?
Right.
I'm just gonna do 4 for today's demonstration, but for the amount that we're making, you're probably gonna wanna do an entire loaf, if I could guess. But again, just doing 4 to keep it simple. My cuts could have been more drastic, Mom. I'm sorry about that.
That's good.
Gonna put my bread to the side and get some olive oil. This part's very important. You wanna get olive oil.
Just finish the bread, so it's
But yeah, these are
perfect.
literally fresh pieces of bread. Get a thingy,
Brush?
a brush, get some olive oil, dip your thingy, aka brush. Mine will not dip in there, but get your brush in some olive oil and coat your slices of bread. You don't really need to do a lot because there's gonna be a lot of olive oil in the entire recipe. So you don't wanna overdo the bread, but just enough so that when it's on the pan, it gets in well. Now, Mom, I know we do one side at a time. Should I still put olive oil on both sides
On
or
both
wait until we
sides.
flip it?
Uncle Fernando, do you remember when we went there?
I do, yes.
Yes? And Rafaela's family?
This recipe's straight from Italy, yes.
Yes.
I remember.
That's how he did it. On
Okay.
both sides right away and then toast it.
I might cut away while I do this and just finish off my bread, but you see what I'm doing is just very gently getting some olive oil on. Again, you don't really need to get a whole lot on there. Gonna flip them all. And the 4 drastically cut slices of bread are ready. I have a pan over here in the back. I'm just gonna put it on medium, and I'm going to do each side for 3 minutes. So I'm just gonna quickly boom, boom, and boom, boom. I'm looking at the time. Okay, now let's get into the thick of it. Let's start with our tomato. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret that is straight from Italy that they don't tell you online. They don't tell you in these things that you might watch on YouTube, because I've watched a lot of these videos to prepare for today, and everyone leaves this one tip out. When you make this recipe, a lot of times people complain that it's very watery, which makes sense because I mean, look at how much water is in those tomatoes that you see when I just squeeze on it. First, you want to get rid of the insides. So I'm just going to cut around these and take them out of the tomato and sort of just get any extra juices. You see those juices in there? I'm getting them right out. And this is something you're going to want to do to all 4 of your tomatoes. I'm just going to demonstrate with one of them for now. Get all that juice out of there. Let's do it for the other one really quick. Am I doing well, Mom?
perfect.
Am I doing?
Yeah,
Is it
you're
perfect?
doing very
I know
well.
sometimes you get very nervous when I have a knife in my hand, and I don't quite blame you. But
Well, the practice is going to do what?
that's the. I don't even know what it is anymore. You say it so much. Okay.
You'll get better.
All the juice is out. At which point on YouTube, most people will say, great, now start dicing it. They are wrong and they are liars. That is not what you should do. I call them liars, Mom. No. At this point.
They just don't know.
They just don't know.
Yeah,
They're just
that's
hopeless.
right.
At this point, when your tomatoes are looking like this, do not dice them yet. Instead, what you're gonna wanna do, get some salt, okay? Take a pinch of salt, sprinkle it inside of your tomatoes. First of all, now when you do dice your tomatoes, they're already gonna have a nice salty flavor to them. But more importantly, after you salt them, get your tomatoes, get a paper towel and put them face down, because what happens is the salt will get all of the moisture and all of the water out of that tomato. So you put it here, you wait 15 minutes, and when you're done with your 4 tomatoes, doing that for all 4, you will get these lovely drier tomatoes that are already moisture-free relative to that one. So you don't have to squeeze it or anything, and it just makes it a whole lot easier
Tastier too.
for you and tastier. Exactly. It's all about that taste. So that's a tip that you're not going to get on YouTube. Now, obviously, if you're cooking this, take care of your 4 tomatoes, do that, put them face down and wait 15 minutes. But we already did that, so we can get straight into dicing. I'll do this part pretty fast. We'll probably cut here for you, but you're gonna wanna dice your tomatoes. Another tip that we like to do, Mom, get close in with this one. A lot of people will dice it, start cutting it this way. It's actually easier when they're cut in half if you slice them this way. You see how much easier that looks? Because you're not having to break the skin from the outside. You have that soft inside to work with. This also works really well with peppers. Peppers are really good for that too. Now you do want this to be pretty thinly diced, so I'm gonna get these a little bit looser over here. And we're gonna dice these as you would dice any type of tomato or any type of thing. Very easy. I'm no expert at this. You just want them to be small little things, just small little cubes. It's not that difficult.
Very good.
You got it?
Yep.
Dice them. And tell you what, I am going to take care of the rest of my tomatoes and we'll be right back when I'm done with those. So I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, so I'm not done yet. I still have a few more to go, but while I'm doing this, I just want to remind you, because I almost forgot, do not forget that your bread is on the pan. Flip it. Do the other side for 3 minutes while you're doing this so that everything's ready when you're done. Trust me, it'll make life easier. That's all though. That's all I wanted to quickly tell you. We'll be back when I'm done. I'm almost done, I promise. The tomatoes, if you can see here, come closer, Mom, the tomatoes are all diced. Look at that. And I don't know if you can see this. Look at how beautiful that bread looks. Nice and toasty. Ooh, that's exactly how you want it. You really want it to be crunchy. We'll be looking at that later when I actually try this. Our tomatoes are done, so I'm just gonna put them in our bowl really quickly. Just dump them in the bowl. And I will quickly show you. Look at these, look at this towel. You can't probably see it that well, but look at how wet the towel is from that little technique we showed you that no other YouTube channel is gonna be showing you. That's why you come to us. We're moving on though. We're moving on to the onion. We only use 1/4 of an onion for this. We don't want a whole lot, and I know my dad is probably listening in, does not like onion too much, so just start dicing your onion. As again, it's like the tomatoes. There's nothing special about dicing it. You just want it to be thin, and make sure you use a sharp knife. Do yourself a favor, because I was not, and I had to switch knives in between. But just start going to town on those. Get them nice and diced up. You see how small those are? I'll probably go back through them one more time afterwards because you really don't want them to be that big. Babbitt's here at my feet. Hello, Babbitt. Yes, Babbitt says hello. Ooh, I hope I don't cry on camera from these.
Pretty good.
It is pretty good.
It's one of our favorite as a good snack, as even supper sometime.
Yeah, well, what's great about this is you don't have to, if you don't like eating bread, if you're gluten-free, if you, well, I don't know if this is actually keto even without the bread, but if you're gluten-free at least, you can still have this without the bread part. Just, oh, I start crying from this. You can have it without the bread part. I'm crying because I love doing this for you guys so much. It brings such joy to my life. Okay, the onions, whether I want to or not, they're done. I'm putting them in. We'll just put them in the bowl with the tomatoes. Woo.
Is it that strong?
Yeah, no, I'm crying, Mom. That is not a joke. I am definitely crying. Next up is our basil. Next up's our basil.
Yep.
I don't know how much basil you like. Honestly, I'm not an expert on basil. I don't even really know how it works. But just get some basil. Ooh, it smells good. Mom, I don't think I've ever cut basil, so this is actually gonna be a first for me. I think I'm still crying a little bit too.
Good practice.
I'm just gonna chop it. I'm just gonna chop it up.
That's why we say, let the young ones to do what?
To help in the kitchen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, this is truly no fear because you get to see me work with an ingredient I've never worked with in my life, I don't think. I mean, I've eaten basil. I've never had to work with it though.
That's right.
And
I'm going to look at the tomatoes. Look how much of the water, just in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know that that was a great example.
Nice.
Isn't that such a cool tip? That is straight from Italy. You won't get that tip anywhere else. You'll also probably realize we don't have any garlic right now. That's because garlic in this meal is blasphemous and it doesn't belong in this dish. And if you go to Italy, you'll see that no one uses garlic in this. This is something that my dad's talked about on the channel before. Garlic is really not as prevalent in Italy as you think. No doubt it is used in Italian meals, but American Italian food really goes overboard with the garlic. And I love garlic, it's just not necessary though in every single meal that you do and in every single thing that you have. Again, if you can't tell, I'm not an expert. I mean, look at how I'm chopping this. This is miserable. Is this good, Mom? You think
Taste
this is good?
is going to be good, yes.
Oh yeah, the taste will be great.
Once you mix everything, it's
This
perfect.
is sort of go to town on chopping it up. Apparently this is actually a really delicate ingredient and I should not be chopping it like that, but I'm not an expert. So it'll survive. We're basically almost at the end here of this. You're going to add it now. Add it to the rest of it. Ooh, sorry for that noise. And put your cutting board on the side. At this point, add in your pepper. And the most important of all the ingredients, your 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Just soak it in there. Perfect. You don't want to go too much on this because you don't want it to be too soggy. Remember that bread already has olive oil soaked on it a little bit. And then we'll start mixing it. And again, if you listened at the top, we're adding a special secret ingredient in this bruschetta, however you pronounce it. Bruschetta, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I just eat it.
Call Uncle Fernando or Rafaela.
We'll call them at like 2 in the morning there. We'll see what's up with it. We'll ask them. Okay, our secret ingredient. This is something that I don't know if the Italians will like this. I know the Americans will though. Get your Parmesan. This is so easy to change and revolutionize these flavors. Get your Parmesan and just grate some Parmesan on there. Get it on there, nice and good. And again, mix everything all up. And you don't want to beat it up when you're mixing it either. You can just do like a light little thing. And if you're serving this for family and friends as an appetizer, definitely just serve it in a bowl like this with the bread so that they can scoop on as much or as little as they want. You want to give them more than they would like or less than they would like. Ooh, I think it's ready to go on the bread and for me to try this. What do you think, Mom? Is it done?
Perfect.
Did I miss anything?
It's done.
Is
Nope.
It's done. Look at that. That was like 10 minutes maybe? Probably less. Maybe if I had done a practice run beforehand, maybe
And
a
if
little
you
bit
have
less.
everything ready, remember, ingredients ready?
Yes, get your ingredients ready. Very easy ingredients. I'm going to spoon some onto this bread. Ooh.
I'll give you a plate so you can put it so you will not be over the bowl.
So I don't make the same mistake as last week.
Yes.
You want to get a close-up of this food? Do they see
me
it?
see.
Look at that. Look at the flavors. This is such an easy dish to do. It's so
It looks
light also.
delicious.
There's really not much to it.
Yeah. And again, bread, you can put it in the toaster if you want to, in the oven, toasted. And it's one of Nathaniel's favorite food, really, Italian food.
I like it because
easy.
it's so light. It's such a light dish to have. It really doesn't overpower you, but it's good. Again, skip the chips, skip the chocolates, skip the desserts, make some bruschetta. It's light, it's Italian. It'll impress a date if you're ever going on a date. And it's just delicious to have for yourself. So manja manja, I'm going to finish eating probably all of this tonight. We'll see you next time. I think Mom's where I am next time. So you'll have a little break from me, but enjoy it.
Pofta bună. Enough salt? So good, huh?
It's perfect. It's that cheese we add to it, Mom. It's so good.
Glad you like it. Glad we are having a background Italian and Romanian.
Yeah.
Both are good together
Oh,
for
yeah.
food.
Are we done? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.